Ever had a dream of leaving your day job and going overseas to join a band? Well, this has become a reality for Canberra filmmaker and musician Stuart McBratney, who's getting set to move to Berlin. Before he heads overseas, his fellow band member has flown into Canberra from Berlin to film their music video. During the week, I caught up with Stuart and Chi Tien Nguyen, otherwise known as DJ Chopstick, from the band The Mischief Engine. Welcome to State Focus. First of all, you, Stu, music interest in music goes way back to childhood days?
Yeah, that's right. I started playing the piano when I was about 6 or 7 years old. Then I moved to guitar when I was about 14. That's when it really took off. I'd sort of spend days and days just doing nothing but playing guitar and learning stuff by Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton and U2, and learned sort of to play the blues that kind of way. Then I got really into Metallica and started playing more heavy kind of stuff, and then gradually moved into electronic music down the track.
And then you got a real job. You sort of went into TV and film work.
Yeah, I've always been interested in doing music and film, and it's been really handy that I've been able to be a TV commercial director, because it means that I get to choose music and sometimes write music for the commercials as well. So I've been a TV commercial director for quite a few years now. Okay,
to you, Tien, what's a little of your history? Where do you come from?
I was born in Germany, in the south of Germany, in Stuttgart, and I had musical lessons since I was 4 years old. And ever since then, my parents always supported me and started buying decks at one point and started DJing. And my brother was in a band, and they kicked out the drummer and they bought drum machines, so I was playing around with the machines. And since then, I was always making music.
So you've always been involved in music right through?
Always, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so two very different stories. Stu, how did they team up?
Well, I was in Berlin about 3 or 4 years ago, for the Berlin International Film Festival, and me and Tien just happened to be at the same party at the same time. At that point, you were the A&R rep for Ministry of Sound, I believe, and the Ministry of Sound Germany was at the same party as me, and I just happened to bump into them, started chatting, and me and Tien just struck a chord, and before we knew it, we decided we'd collaborate on an album.
All right. Before we go any further, you've done quite well with film and editing type work in that regard, and you had an achievement over when you were in Berlin at that time. Yeah,
the reason I was in Berlin to begin with was because I was selected to attend the Berlinale Talent Campus, which is when they get 500 up-and-coming filmmakers from around the world to spend a week having, imagine the best film school in the world, instead of some random dude that's had a camera for 2 weeks and he's teaching students. They have Spike Lee and Mike Lee and Anthony Minghella and Academy Award-winning filmmakers teaching these up-and-coming filmmakers. So that's the reason that I was there in the first place.
Okay, Tien, the Ministry of Sound, that's quite a huge international recording label. How did you first get involved with that?
My brother was is a really good friend of the A&R director, and I got to know him. And
just let everyone know what A&R stands for.
A&R is the Artist and Repertoire.
Right.
So basically the guy who looks for new bands, for new music, and
for a record company.
For a record company, that's right. And I knew him also for a few years, but I really didn't know him very well. And then he asked me to his office one day, and I just came in, and he's like, "Yeah, I need some help with the A&Ring here, because he has lots of stuff to listen to." And I said, "Sure, yeah, I'm down there."
Okay. Yeah. Well, tell me about the band, Stu, and then heading to Berlin. What aspect of the band do you do?
Well, the band's called the Mischief Engine, and together we get into the studio and we just kind of make stuff up. Essentially, there's not a hell of a lot of structure to the process of recording, but we get into a studio, Tien will whip up some really cool beats, and then I'll jam along with it, and then Tien will listen to some cool riffs, and he'll go, "Oh, I really like that."
There's a little bit of a juxtaposition there. You're doing the acoustic side, and he's doing the electronic side.
Yeah,
so
well,
it fits in quite well.
Yeah, it works well. Tien does the engineering and producing, and he's operating the computer and programming beats and getting the really cool sounds and things. And then I'm playing the live instruments. I'll actually play an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar or
so you could say he's
things.
doing the doof doof and you're doing the twang twang.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah,
you can use it if you like.
Yeah. We have permission to use that.
Yes, you certainly do. Okay, we've got to wind it up,
good.
but we wish you all the very best with the career and moving over to Berlin, and good luck over there.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming in. Stuart McBratney and Chi Tien Chopsticks Nguyen both off to Berlin after making a music video in Canberra.